அதான் நம்ம ஸ்கின்ஸ். போன வாட்டி ஐஸ் பற்றி சொன்னேன், இப்போ நான் ஸ்கின் பற்றி சொல்கிறேன். ஃபஸ்ட்டு தமிழில் சொல்லி, ஃபஸ்ட்டு நான் இங்கிலீஷில் சொல்லி நான் வந்து தமிழில் சொல்லேன். இப்போ நான் இங்கிலீஷில் சொல்கிறேன். ஸ்கின் have 3 layers. The layer of fat, epidermis and the dermis. I will come from the below to the top. First, the lowest of all is the layer of fat. As you can guess, it has fat inside it and it's very thick. So when you fall or fell, all that harm that causes by the fall will take this layer of fat and don't go to the innermost part of our body like the heart. Then we have actually the layer of fat, because of it's very thick, it is quite warm too. So it keeps the cold outside. So that's why the animals that living in polar regions like polar bear, seals and penguins have thick layer of fat, which helps them to keep the cold outside. You know that polar regions have very cold, right? Then we have the dermis. The dermis is the second lowest part of our body, and it has some wire-like things called the blood vessels. As you can guess, there is blood going in there, and the blood flow in the blood vessels, and it helps to clean our tissues and cells clean, so it will work properly. The heart pumps the blood all through our body. Then we have nerve endings, more like branches, like things. It sends electric signals to the brain. If you touch something like ice cream, you will tell that ice cream is cold. But how it's cold? Because the nerve ending feels that ice cream is cold and sends the electric signals to the brain. And if you touch the hot stew or hot tea, you will recognize that it's very hot. So the nerve endings feel that and sends the electric signals to the brain, and the brain saves you from the very hot condition, that you will take your hand from the hot, because the brain tries to save you from the hot. And in the blood vessels, that's why when you get a cut or something, the blood will flow off of the skin and it will spread there, and nerve ending sees that and feels that and sends the electric signals to the brain, and the brain says that one of our blood vessels have curtained and the blood is flowing from there. Then we have in the epidermis, there is something called the skin cells, which is smaller than the normal cells. It will arise from the low to the top. When it's arrived at top, it's getting older and most of them are dead. You said all the skin cells wherever you go. For instance, you go to the market, you'll set your skin cells everywhere you go. An average human sets around 40,000 skin cells. 40,000 is big number, but the 40,000 skin cells doesn't cover our fingerprint. Then we said around 2 kgs of skin cells in a year, per year. That's a lot of shedding. And the skin cells have something called melanin, and melanin is a chemical that decides your skin color. If someone is dark, if someone have darker skin color than you, so that means they have more melanin than you. Someone is lesser color than